some peace of mind. But TikTok said a gator drove a Jeep through the blinds. Florida man's at it again with fireworks and a goat. And someone married a ghost in a Dollar Tree coat. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is going on? Aliens dancing in a Waffle House song. Karen's got a taser in the checkout line. And Dr. Oz just adopted birds to fight off crime. Oh, I'm just sitting here scrolling, my jaw on the floor. The internet's a circus and I can't take no more. Yeah, when it's wildin', there's a raccoon in the sink. Someone robbed a Wendy's just to steal a frosty drink. A pastor's gone viral yelling about the end is near, while folks ride hoverboards in wedding gear. Yeah, what in the Walmart rapture is this mess? Florida's a movie, but it's filmed in VHS. Someone fed meth to a squirrel named Dave, and now he's in a cage just throwing rave. I'm just...
Good morning, everyone. It is Monday. It is the 4th, and that reminds me I need to cancel my Savage Fenty for this month. So if you have one of those, auto renew subscriptions, you have one more day, and I'm your reminder, because usually I forget those and then have to buy more bras, and Mr. Mo gets upset. Well, I hope you guys are getting ready to have a great Monday. I get to go see the dentist, but I do get laughing gas, so it swings and roundabouts. And for those of you whose kids are getting ready to start school this week, like mine, pray for us all now and at the hour of our interface with the internets. We got some news, y'all. Sadly, Lonnie Anderson, WKRP in Cincinnati star and ex-wife to Burt Reynolds, has passed away at 79. Squid pro quo gets it. I get it. Yes. Good luck, Flux. I hope you got all of your new supplies and a good trapper keeper. I'm okay with the Liza Frank, but I kind of went with the dudeish trapper keepers, if I'm honest. So I hope you got a trapper keeper. Lonnie Anderson, who played a struggling radio station's empowered receptionist on the hit television comedy WKRP in Cincinnati, passed away Sunday, just days before her 80th birthday. Now, Anderson died at Los Angeles Hospital following a prolonged illness, said her longtime publicist, Cheryl Kagan. We're heartbroken to announce the passing of our dear wife, grandmother, and great-grandmother, Anderson's family said in a statement. And let me just say, that blonde worked for her. I don't know how much Aquanet she took and how long she had to sit in hot curlers, but she was a daggone fine woman. And I don't even play for that team, but that hair, don't get her near a flammable anything, but that is good. Now, WKRP in Cincinnati aired from 1978 to 1982 and was set in a flagging Ohio radio station trying to reinvent itself with rock music. The cast included Gary Sandy, Tim Reed, Howard Hessman, Frank Bonner, and Jan Smithers, alongside Anderson as the sexy and smart Jennifer Marlowe. As the station's receptionist, the blonde and high-heeled Jennifer used to use her appeal and womanly attributes to deflect unwanted business calls for her boss, Mr. Carlson, and her efficiency often kept the station running in the face of other people's incompetence. The role earned Anderson 2 Emmy Award nominations and 3 Golden Globe nominations. Now, she later starred on the big screen alongside Burt Reynolds in the 1983 comedy Stoker Ace, and the two later married and became tabloid fixtures before their messy breakup in 1994. Their son, Quentin Reynolds, was the best decision we made in our entire relationship, she said during a bronze bust unveiling at Reynolds' gravesite in 2021. I think back to the beginning of our relationship, and it was so, oh my gosh, tabloidy. We were just a spectacle all the time, and it was hard to have a relationship in that atmosphere. But somehow we did it through many ups and downs, Anderson told the Associated Press. Now, she detailed their tumultuous marriage in a 1995 biography, My Life in High Heels, which she said was about the growth of a woman who survives. Holy hairspray. Okay, we need to bring this back. See, Gen Zers don't know what it was like to have your mom have one of them things like a plate and spray the hell out of her hair. Like, kids today just don't know. They do not know. Why is Burt Reynolds dressed up like a rooster? Bring back 80s television because it was insane. If you think you're going to write about yourself, you have to do it with warts and all, Anderson told the AP while promoting the book. It may not be, you may not even tell the nicest things about yourself because you're telling the truth. Now, she was married 4 times, most recently to Bobby Flick in 2018. No, 8, sorry. She was born in St. Paul, Minnesota on August 5th, 1945. Her father was an environmental chemist and her mother was a model. Now, her first role as an actress was a small part in the 1966 film Nevada Smith, starring Steve McQueen. Most of her career was on the small screen with early guest spots on SWAT, Policewoman, and then after WKRP, she moved on to Easy Street and then starred in some made-for-TV movies, including A Letter to Three Wives and White Hot, The Mysterious Murder of Thelma Todd. Bring back Lifetime movies, I swear to goodness. Bring back Meredith Baxter Burney and Judith Light. Look, I learned all of my life lessons. I got to sit down with my mom and pretend I was a real woman and not saying nothing, but if you go to Walmart, I'm pretty sure with some of the 80s core outfits they have, I have seen Meredith Baxter Burney running from her abusive husband, and at least 5 of the sweaters on sale at my local Walmart. Now, we have fought against the 80s and we have lost. If they're coming back, I demand Meredith Baxter Burney and Judith Light. Very much. Now, she is survived by her husband, Flick, her daughter, Deirdre, son-in-law, Charlie Hoffman, son, Quentin Anderson Reynolds, and grandchildren, Mackenzie and Megan Hoffman. I do hope that the family is finding support and strength. During this time, it's never easy to lose someone, even if they were battling a prolonged illness. It still is incredibly hard to say goodbye. Not to compare it insensitively, but, and I'm just going to make the link and y'all can think what you want. But when I had to, take Friberto to the vet and they said there was nothing they could do and he was in a lot of pain, it wasn't easy to make that decision and it sucked to lose him. But it also was really nice to not see him in pain anymore and know that I did the right thing as an owner, even if it kicks you in the left tit. That being said, we do have a hero to recognize. I definitely like to do these stories, even if they're somewhat heartbreaking, but everyday heroes who give their life with, no expectation of being remembered. They're the kind of people I want to remember. A hero cyclist, 28, lost his life shielding a mom and children from a knife-wielding madman at a California train station. A beloved cyclist was allegedly stabbed to death by a knife-wielding madman after heroically stepping in to protect a mother and her children who were being harassed at a California train station. Colden Kimler, 28, was waiting at a Muni stop in San Francisco with his girlfriend on July 26th when a ranting lunatic approached a terrified family and was hurling, unhinged threats that prompted the 6'4" New Yorker native to courageously intervene, according to court documents obtained by KGO. "Oh, you think you're better than me," the alleged assailant, Sean Collins, 29, screamed at the mother and the 2 children at the Ingleside Transit Hub, adding, "You're scared of me." Well, Kimber, heading home from a lunch date, positioned himself between the frightened family and Collins when the frenzied attacker plunged a blade into his neck as he glanced toward the approaching train, according to court documents. The San Francisco State University student and avid cyclist stopped moving after the completely unprovoked attack, officials said. Again, it's a knife wound to the neck. It is not pretty. It is going to be almost nearly instantly fatal. The Dryden native was taken to San Francisco General, where unfortunately he passed away following surgery, according to a GoFundMe that was launched by his heartbroken mother. There's no making sense of this and no words to convey the devastation we're feeling. His mother, Laura Lynchfield Kimber, wrote on the fundraiser, which has since amassed $91,000. He had this protective thing about him, the grief-stricken mother told WYSR, noting her son was endearingly named Country Moose. Because he was 6'4", he was a big dude. He probably didn't think he had anything to worry about. Now, a blood-stained Collins was arrested and charged with murder after being found just blocks from the scene, where unfortunately the incident, or fortunately for the trial, was captured by surveillance cameras. So this will be, something that can be adjudicated, at least here on Earth, for right now. Now, Kimber, our hero, was studying kinesiology. So it's the study of human movement. A lot of physical therapists start out with kinesiology. It's the movement of the body. I'm probably saying it wrong. It's been a lot of years since I even thought I was going to go into physical therapy, but that usually is their starting point. You learn sort of the angles, the mechanics of all the body. And as you know me, it involves physics and math. And so I wasn't going to be good at it, at all. See, Squid Pro Quo knows what it is. And he spent, a lot of time working at American Cyclery, where he had worked for 3 years, repairing and building bikes. I'm going to miss him for his good nature and, kind spirit. He lives such an exemplary life, Bradley Wool, owner of American Cyclery, told KGO. He was very positive and an influence on myself and my staff. He's totally irreplaceable as a worker, totally irreplaceable as a friend, as a person, and someone who had a good influence on his life. Kimber's love for cycling began when he took his mother's place in a New York triathlon after she was forced to withdraw while battling breast cancer. You know what? Doggone it. This is a good guy. He biked for his mother, and usually I don't like cyclists, but I will make an exception. And I'm ticked off that he tried to do something good, and that's why we're remembering him, because he stood up when other people wouldn't. And now I just want to go, y'all, I don't train or nothing, but I want to go get me some CrossFit because I have some aggression. You know what? I need to sponsor one of them smash rooms, where you can take a bat, because it's all like Goodwill stuff, and you can beat the ever-living hell out of something, and break things. I think we need that. After this year, after all these people, after all these stories, we need a Mo break room sponsorship. I don't know how I'm going to get this together, but we're going to do this. Bikes were the thing that stuck. People would say, I had a Colden sighting because it wasn't rare. He was always on his bike. Now, a memorial bike ride has been scheduled in his honor on September 7th. And Collins, the suspect, he's presumed innocent, but when it's caught on CCTV, his defense attorney is probably just going to plea him out, but he does have an arraignment on the 14th. So I am hoping that some measure of justice can come, but it is San Francisco, so I hope they don't give him bond or say he, needs a puppy or something, because it's San Francisco. Now, this case just keeps getting squirrelier and squirrelier, y'all. Now, I took a break from all the news yesterday, but it looks like we are getting updates about the Arkansas Devil's Den murders of the two parents who were protecting their children. It looks like we're getting more information on the suspect. Now, the suspect was a 28-year-old teacher accused of stabbing the married couple to death in front of their children, bounced between 4 districts in 3 states prior to the alleged murder. Andrew McGann, was charged with 2 counts of capital murder in the killings Saturday of both Clinton David Brink and Kristen Amanda Brink. Now, he was once placed on administrative leave at an elementary school in Dallas, the suburb of Flower Mound, in spring 2023 after concerns were raised about his classroom management. This man was a teacher? Like, who looks at this face? I'm sure he didn't look like this, on Parent Teacher Day. But them are some Manson lamps. Now, a parent whose son was in his 5th grade class in Oklahoma that year also told the Associated Press he remembered the teacher being reserved and not super friendly, and that he was just off-putting the first time they met. He wouldn't look at me really, wouldn't talk to me. He would only really talk to the kids, or he would walk away. Kyle Swanson said, "I don't know. It was a really strange interaction." Now, Andrew, who graduated in spring 2022 from Oklahoma State University, Tulsa, with a Bachelor of Science degree in elementary education, does have an active teaching license in Arkansas, Texas, and Oklahoma, according to each respective government citation website. Now, no infractions or suspensions were noted on any of his public state licensures. So he may have been off-putting, he may have been creepy, but not to the point where they were going to put anything towards his license, any infractions or things like that. Now, he was also placed on administrative leave in spring of 2023 while he was employed at Donald Elementary School in Flower Mound, Texas, following concerns related to classroom management, professional judgment, and student favoritism, according to a spokesperson for the Louisville Independent School District. Now, Sierra Markham, whose son was in, Andrew's 4th grade class, told the AP that he came across as pretty cold and disinterested in his students. She said her son came home from school one day upset about some of his behaviors, which she reported to the principal. Now, he resigned from the Louisville posting in 2023, May. Now, the following year, he taught 5th grade at an elementary school in Tulsa suburb of Broken Arrow before leaving to take another job at a separate Tulsa area district, Sand Springs. This man looked like he just bounced around. And again, you have to have a certain type of personality. I thought I was going to be a teacher, and then I realized I used too many curse words. And I like talking to adults, not children, because they don't get my jokes half the time. That being said, you do have to have a certain kind of personality. Like, you can generally pick out when someone teaches kids in younger grades, they tend to just have a personality that's open, inviting, engaging, and that's what you need to be a teacher. This man sounds like he's an inside cat that forced himself to be a teacher, among many other issues. Now, he was expected to start a new job at Springdale Public Schools, northwest of Arkansas, on August 11th of this year. Now, the murders happened on July 16th in what police have described as a random attack. He made his first appearance on Friday before an Arkansas judge. Now, I will probably be watching the hearings for this. I also want to get in on the ground level of the Morphew case. They do have more stuff coming out soon, so we will be on top of this. This is definitely a case I want to follow. Just the absolute assassination of innocence that this case represents. Going out, doing something fun, hiking, and then you're in a fight for your life and you're telling your children to run so they'll be safe. This is definitely going to be a big case. I hope Arkansas, crosses their I's, dots their T's, and we get some justice here. Now, a woman who knew Kristen from a church in Miles City, Montana, Amy, told Fox News that she had a beautiful voice. So this is the mother that lost her life and was involved at music in the church. She got A's in nursing school while raising babies and taking care of her family. I loved her so much, and it just doesn't seem real. It just seems like there should be something I could do to take this terrible tragedy back, but sadly they're gone. So I do hope that the community is gathering around their children, the friends and family, and they're taking this time to grieve and, really support each other during this, because this is going to be a long haul. As you guys know, justice takes a long time. A lot of, trials are the, motions in limine, the pre-trial. So we will try to get on all of this and keep a track of this case, because this one just is awful. Another awful one that I got to tell you about, because at this point, I think we need final form Jesus. Now, I don't know where this man's done disappeared to, but he has done disappeared off the face of the daggone earth. So we're going to need some help here, Jesus.
The key keep its grove, thou glowing shrine of thirst traps, scams, and dollar signs. We chant in tones both grim and low, for virtue fled a long time ago. Kyrie eleison, Christe descendat, final form Jesus return in wrath. With six-pack glistening sword in hand, he cometh swift to cleanse the land.
All right, we've got a spotting we don't know, and it looks like we're backing down on the hunt for the fugitive dad wanted for the alleged triple murder of his girls. Now, it seems like there might have been a spotting or a viewing of him, but basically we still have no idea where this man is. Washington authorities launched a large-scale search for the missing survivalist father wanted and alleged for the alleged connection to the murder of his 3 daughters after receiving a tip reporting a potential sighting of the man. The Kings County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of a possible sighting of Travis Decker near Washington's Snoqualmie Pass, somewhere in Washington. And Pacific Crest Trail, located approximately 55 miles from Seattle. Now, a community member reportedly called authorities around 6 p.m. on Friday to report the possible sighting. The police then deployed a large number of deputies along with TAC 30 and K-9 units. And neighboring agencies were also notified. Now, 3 hours later, they called off the search without locating Decker. Now, the update comes after the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, which initiated the search for Decker, previously announced that it was scaling back the manhunt efforts in response to decreased tips from the community. Now, last month, a tipster called in a potential sighting of Decker while visiting Idaho's Sawtooth Forest. However, that tip turned to be false after authorities located the man who was thought to be Decker. Now, the 33-year-old father has been missing for over 2 months after the bodies of his 3 daughters, Peyton 9, Evelyn 8, and Olivia 5, were found at Rock Island Campground on June 2nd. Now, listen, y'all, I firmly believe in due course and due process most of the time. But if a sporting mountain lion and or grizzly bear happened to get this douche canoe, I have absolutely no tears to give. I am completely out of F's to give. My little jar, I don't even know where my little jar empty of F's is right now. But I kind of hope that nature took its course here. That being said, that is not due process. But there you are. Now, we all know the story of how the girls were found. They had to go with their father, even though he displayed increased, levels of instability and irrationality. They still had to go and spend time with their father. Now, Decker is military trained. He is, used to survival stuff. Now, they are offering a $20,000 reward at the U.S. Marshal Service for any information leading to his arrest. If you happen to be in the Northwest, I love y'all, but be careful. If you see someone that looks like this man, call the police. Don't try to engage. And even if it's wrong, we've still eliminated one person. So, yeah, he's still gone. I mean, I'm kind of hoping a mountain lion or the chipmunks, you know what? I kind of hope that God sent a pack of rabid squirrels after him. Nothing with dignity, like just rabid squirrels would be my guess. Or like fluffy chipmunks, but with piranha-like appetites. This is why I don't have deific powers. I'm not Lori Vallow, because the punishments I would come up with, bad. but fully capable, to be honest. Uh, we have someone that needs to go directly to Snake Island. I really don't care what the excuse is, but this is terrifying,
It's a
y'all.
curse, we got a room for the wicked, the cruel, and the worst. If you lie, if you cheat, if your soul's made of bow, you're bound for the fangs and the venom in style. Oh, one-way ticket to Snake Island. Oh, let the conscience, less cowards and gaslighters go. No anchor, no lifeboat, no tearful goodbyes. Just hissing and coming in cold-blooded skies. That's your friend.
All right, in this terrifying case, a 76-year-old man fed children sedative-laced candies at a like a summer camp. UK, what the hell is going on over there? Asking for a friend. Do you need us to send help? Also send over sausage rolls and Mr. Kipling's all the cakes because they are awesome. Bakewell tarts if you've got them. Not saying I would invade the UK for Bakewell tarts, but I'm not taking it off the list of things I would do. And thank you so much, Tammy. Tithings for the Church of Mo. You guys, we are getting so much done. I got my thing for the craft thing, and if I didn't have to go to the dentist today, I would have that set up. But we have so much that's getting done. I will say, Tammy, thank you so much. If you do have ADHD, I have been trying. I'm going to go full screen. Now, I'm not good at this. I will be honest that I tend to have, in the last couple of years, worked more as a chaos demon. But this is an ADHD planner, and it helps me just write down things on my list and get them done. And I do feel like I'm achieving stuff. So it may be a placebo effect, but I do feel like I am getting, more stuff done with a planner that I can just use and block things off. It's a slow process, y'all. I have been 4 years a chaos demon after a lifetime of being too type A to function. So if you think you have a duality of spiritual needs, I have a two type A to function anxiety monster with a chaotic demon who wants to take over and play with glitter. So it's amazing that I even get up and get dressed in the morning, but we're going to get those. Yeah, that's the other thing. But I am learning to be a little bit more productive. So I will be working harder and more productively and hopefully not invading the UK to get Bakewell tarts and or handing out laced candy. A 76-year-old man was arrested after allegedly handing out sedative-laced candy to children at a summer camp in the English countryside, sending several to the hospital, according to officials. Now, police responded to reports of children falling ill at the summer camp at Slathern Lodge and rushed 8 boys between the ages of 8 and 11 and one adult to the hospital last Sunday. Uh, is it Leicestershire? Look, someone from the UK, is it Leicestershire or Leicester? Because y'all have these names and you make things up and they're big long, but you pronounce them different. Now, I'm not saying America doesn't have trick names because we do, but I don't know as many of the UK ones. So that's how I'm going to pronounce it. Now, John Rubin was arrested at a local pub the day later. Rubens lives about 15 miles from the lodge in a converted farmhouse with a sports hall and catering facility located about 120 miles north of London. Now, all of the victims were released from the hospital. It wasn't immediately clear in what capacity Rubin was acting when he gave the children candy or what sedatives were laced with it. The candy creeper has since been charged with 3 counts of willful ill treatment of a child. Now, he was ordered detained until his next hearing on August 19th during a Saturday court appearance. This has been extremely upsetting and shocking as a moment for the community, especially for the children and parents most directly affected. Janie McKinney, Chief Crown Prosecutor for Crown Prosecution Services in the East Midlands. We would like to remind all concerned that there are now active criminal proceedings against Mr. Rubin. So the UK is vastly different from how they report crime, so I will keep an eye on this case. But the media is going to be very guarded and very limited on what they are allowed to say now that this is in real criminal proceedings. We will probably not find out anything until he is sentenced, if he is sentenced. So we will keep this, I will keep looking at this, but definitely we will probably not hear any more about this until he is sentenced or until this has gone through the legal proceedings, because that's just the way of the UK courts. But still super scary, and I have no idea why you would do that. Well, apparently the WWE is back, y'all. I don't know why people were getting all upset and Twitter pated, but a big old brawl broke out during the WWE Summer Slam in New Jersey. Well, I think we answered our question with the headline, but New Jersey, that's all I got to say. Like, you put Massachusetts, Wisconsin, or New Jersey in a headline, I am going to figure it's because of the state location. A massive hair-pulling brawl broke out between female fans in the bleachers of the WWE Summer Slam in New Jersey. Now, chaos erupted early into night 2 of the highly anticipated event at MetLife Stadium on Sunday, with at least 6 wrestling fans involved in the ringside melee that is now gone a bit viral. Well, someone's weave's coming off. Now, the videos show the woman in a black t-shirt appearing to try to grab and throw elbows at another woman in a white tank top, only to have a woman in a red shirt come up behind her and yank her by the hair. Now, the fan in the black shirt then starts to throw a bunch of body blows at the woman in the red skirt as her hair is being pulled. Behind them, a male fan was trying to hold the woman in the red skirt. This sounds redonkulous. I mean, but what are you going to do? It's a WWE match. Just put him in the ring. Let him fight it out. Why is it I'm the only one that has this thought? However, then another man appeared from behind him and pulled him away. Now the fight was brought to an end after multiple security guards donning orange shirt punched the brawlers and put a stop to the violence. The woman in the red skirt can be seen kicking a male fan who had been pulling at her and furiously pointing at him as the clip comes to an end. Now it remains unclear how the unscripted madness started. I mean, look, YouTube, I'm just reporting the facts. I mean, oh, that's not even, oh, heck no. Okay, girls, if you're gonna fight and act a fool, I want you to go some training. That was the most girly girl fight. I mean, minus the whole windmill arm thing. I mean, that's if y'all want to throw down for the WWE and get in the ring, y'all are going to need to do better than hair pulling and windmill arms. Now, aside from WrestleMania, the 2-night event held in East Rutherford, New Jersey, is one of the WWE's largest shows of the year, with an average ticket price for SummerSlam starting at 400 flippin' flapjack dollars to go see people wrestle in spandex. I have a business idea. How many of y'all want to be in spandex and have a soap opera? I mean, I'm ready. So it looks like Cody Rhodes defeated John Cena. Look, it's not my jam. I hope that everyone won the belt they wanted. And get these ladies in the ring. I say get them there. I don't really care. I mean, honest to goodness, don't act a fool out in public if you're a lady. I know there's different standards. I don't like men acting like jackasses in public. Ladies, do better. I mean, either, you know, throwing down or just being ladies in public. I don't understand how hard that is, but apparently super hard. Well, we got a couple for Lord Chippy because don't we? Holy Fazoli. All right, y'all, we're going to need to start the WWMO. I don't know, maybe it'll have puppets in it. I feel like puppet wrestling would be Muppet wrestling. Move over John Cena, Muppet John Cena. I have an idea. It's going to work out. Hollywood, talk to me. Oh, for the love of Squidbillies. If you haven't heard, Brian Koberger and Chad Daybell are in the same cell block. And well, I do have a video I am working on scripting when Lori and Sarah Boone meet. Again, hoping that my technical skills somehow magically overnight become that of Neo. Otherwise, it's going to look like a janky mess, but it will be, in theory, uh, it'll be, look, it's going to be my first video with multiple points of view. We're praying on this one. We got prayers and nothing else with this one. But let's get to Lord Chippy because, oh gosh, if there's two people that he needs to meet, it would be Koberger and Dork Bell.
They're our skin, they steal our grace. These monsters wear a human face. No gavel, no badge, no throne, no crown can stop Lord Chippy from burning them down. Justice ain't fast, justice ain't clean. It's a long, sharp road through the in-between. So raise your fists and light your flames. Chippy's coming and he don't play games.
All right, for the first genetic defect who somehow managed to wriggle his way into humanity with his, skin suit, I'll be out one day. A man who wiped out an entire family in a quadruple homicide was, quote, not capable of living among society and threatened the jurors who put him away. Oh gosh, Chippy, just don't even stop. Just like right on through. You don't need to get indigestion, and we've got mulch. I really don't see how there is any problem with a man. This man needs more than Lord Chippy. He needs like Lord Chippy's Justice League. A Tennessee man suspected of slaughtering 4 members of a family he allegedly, quote unquote, knew just months out of getting prison was once described in a parole board letter as someone who is, quote, not capable of living among society. Way to go, parole board. You done Jesus's work or Mustapha-Lee's work. Maybe not everyone is wrongly convicted. Maybe some people are just demonic. Maybe when given a chance, there is a small percentage of people that just will not choose right and need to be taken out of society. Sure, there are a bunch of people in prisons who could be given and take an opportunity to have a better life, to get training, to do the things that prisons were in theory supposed to do. Give you a pride in working at a trade or things like this. I do need to make that. Let me write that down. I have noticed that with my new brainology or whatever it is that my brain is doing since I've gotten chronic pain and this whole neurological thing, if I don't write things down, it is lost, like the Ark of the Covenant. So I need to write that down. Sorry, guys. Welcome to how Mo works now. But if I don't write it down, I have found that I just don't. So that's actually why I take a bunch of notes. Again, parole board. I get that there are some people that really want to change their lives, but there are also monsters like this who need to be protected. The one and only thing a prison is supposed to be doing is keeping us safe. Yes, prisons, some of the people in there are monsters that cannot be rehabilitated. For the love of all that is unholy flapjacks, just stop it. Stop letting out these monsters again and again. Because you know what's going to happen? I have tried to warn you people because I don't want little kids who are, carrying just a bit of dope, to ruin their entire lives. I could have been on the, justice reform train, but y'all have made it increasingly stupid and hard to defend when you're letting people like this out. You are going to bring back 3 strikes you're out with a force that you have never seen. I have warned you. I want criminal justice reform. I don't want prosecutors giving plea deals and ruining people's lives. I don't want people to make a dumb mistake and then it ruins the rest of their lives. But I also don't want to make excuses for monsters. And you have done that. And now when the pendulum swings, now when it comes back, it's going to be worse than 3 strikes you're out. We are going to see people locked up for 40 years for something stupid. And yeah, all you guys had to do was be logical and be, thoughtful about criminal justice reform. But when I'm the voice of reason, something has gone incredibly wrong. So maybe you smart people who do more than, whine at the internet like I do, could get a handle on this before we go back to, pickets, pillories in community squares where you get to throw, rotten fruit. Actually, I would do that. Not gonna lie, I'd bring back pillories. Some people just need to be named and shamed. That's my thought. So, as I said, I have dueling personalities. I want to be peace and love, but I also want to throw rotten fruit at monsters. It's called balance. And according to calls with his dad, before he was paroled, he threatened jurors at his former trial. Quote, "They're going to regret it. I'll be out one day," according to prosecutors. Now, written by the 26th District Attorney General Jody Pickens, the letter was sent to the Tennessee Parole Board in June 2020 as Austin Drummond, who was still being sought Sunday for the murders of James Matthew Wilson, 21, Adriana Williams, 20, Courtney Rose, 36, and Braden Williams, 15, was up for early release in July in connection to an armed robbery he had committed in a gas station. Now, the 28-year-old served 13 years after he swiped $44 from a Circle K while armed. Now, this office strongly opposes his early release on parole, Pickens said, condemning Drummond as a dangerous felony offender. Again, I don't want to be right about this becoming a pendulum swing, but this shows gross lack of being able to determine a person's personality. What are these boards looking at? If they got a strongly opposed letter from the state, if they've got evidence that he has threatened people, what are the Tennessee Bureau looking at that they're like, nah, he'll be a good boy. Look, he said he was going to be a good boy. He found Jesus, Chad Daybell, and Lori. He's been transitioned. He's fine. Now, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation reported Saturday that 2 suspects were taken into custody over the weekend and charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. Now, details have not been released on how they assisted Drummond. The individuals have been identified as Tanika Brown and Javante Thomas, both 29. Court records viewed by Law and Crime show that Drummond has multiple convictions on his record, including the robbery and a retaliation for past action charge, which is when someone commits an act of harming or threatening someone in response to their prior involvement in legal proceedings. Now, local CBS affiliate WREG reports that the retaliation charge stemmed from Drummond's threats that he made about jurors, which Pickens referenced in his letter. Quote, "Drummond's behavior while in prison should also be taken into consideration. Pickens charged that he has 25 disciplinary actions against him that include refusing orders, drug possession, defiance, and being possession of a deadly weapon." Now, prosecutors say that Drummond was charged for attempted murder after he completed his sentence for the robbery in connection with the incident. He was allegedly involved with some kind of contraband. Look, this dude is just evil and he didn't need to get out. Who let this man out? And they need to take some responsibility. He had no business getting out on parole. I mean, this is like letting Susan Smith or Lori Vallow Daybell out. This is ridiculous. So they have been on the ground looking for him. This is just, do not approach, if you see this man, if you're located in Tennessee, call the cops. Don't get involved. He is absolutely just the worst. And I'm kind of hoping for a mountain lion. Again, rabid chipmunks. I'm here for it. Now, I just can't with these genetic rejects. Again, how is it the people that look like evolution just done, never met their family, have like 84 children? That being said, the sibling resemblance, allegedly in my mocking head, we don't know that they're related, but they damn sure look cousiny. These two, slowly, Lord Chippy, I don't care. A child was locked away in a dog crate, pummeled with a metal pipe for behaving, and caused severe welts. Well, in my justice world, you'd be in the middle of town square explainerating yourself, but it's not the middle centuries, and I'm not in charge. But I have thoughts. An alleged mother and father, but with the power of this pen, my rage, and the Church of Mo, you have both been excommunicated from the Church of Parents Who Give a Fuck. And now you are just incubators and sperm donor. You're welcome. Humanity saved. Now, they were allegedly forcing their 7 children to live in very deplorable and uninhabitable conditions in Tennessee. What the hell? This is a Tennessee heavy day. I'm sorry. Go Vols. Yikes. Not your best, Tennessee. But, I mean, every state. I mean, you don't even want to look at Indiana, to be real with you. Jason Hoffer, 27. How the hell did... Look, I know I had 6 kids by the end of my 30s, but I would like to say that I was at least at the end of my 30s in my defense. Stands accused of child endangerment and aggravated CA, while his wife, 28-year-old Amber Hoffer, also faces child endangerment per Knox County Sheriff. Now, the investigation started shortly after 7:30 a.m. when the sheriff's office received a call about 2 small children standing alone in a wooded area around the 3000 block of Clear Spring Roads in Mascot, just outside of Knoxville. Now, deputies determined that the 2 kids lived nearby, and they took the kids back to their home and met with the parents. Now, the cops learned that 7 children, ranging from ages 1 month to 7 years old, lived in the home. Now, according to local CBS affiliate WVLT, they were able to obtain arrest warrants that stated that one of the 2 children in the woods had a severe bruise on his leg, while both were hungry and hadn't eaten in a while. Now, they discovered... Imagine the deplorable... I mean, we all know what this house looked like because we've seen it on body cams. And I'm going to take my minute here. Look, I know there are bad cops out there. I know there are bad first responders. I know there are a-holes everywhere. But God bless the cops and first responders who go into these homes, into these deplorable situations, and try to help the children. Because they can never unsee what these parents have brought on their children. And they're not going to be the ones that, see it through to the end. They're going to have faith that the system will help them. But these are things they're never going to unsee. And I can't imagine what it does to your soul to have to see children, being treated like this. But absolutely, if you believe in prayer, Jesus, the universe, or the giant spaghetti monster in the sky, keep good first responders in your thoughts and prayers, because they are dealing with this stuff every day, every call. They don't know if they're going to come in and see a child severely malnourished. And I don't know that I would do it. I couldn't. Now, the children were all taken to a local hospital to be evaluated. Now, during an interview, one of the boys repeatedly said that his father would make him stay inside a dog crate in the middle of the living room. Now, when he misbehaved, he would allegedly lock the crate and beat him, through the crate. He did have evidence of the abuse, so this is going to be a bad case. And while you're at it, remember that juries have to see this stuff. That was the one big fear I had when I was going to do jury duty, that I didn't get a kid case because I didn't want one. I know the evil that can be visited on a child, but I don't know the evil. And I didn't want to have to see those photos that these, prosecutors and attorneys and guardian ad litem have to see all the time. And if I were a president of the world, we'd have better mental health for just about everyone. Because better help incontinent. Now, police allegedly found the kennel in the home, but no animal, no pets. Now, as of Sunday, Jason has remained in the Knox County Jail on a $55,000 bond. It does appear that the mother, Amber, has posted bond. Now, the Department of Children's Services has moved the 7 children from the home. They do look cousiny. They do look cousiny. Good Lord. My friend was the first EMT on a scene to help a 12-year-old boy whose donor got mad at him. Just, again, Snake Island or Lord Chippy, for the safety of humanity. This final one is a little bit of, well, What the hell, ma'am? I mean, everyone gets mad at work. I used to work fast food. I can tell you it sucks out loud, but I've never thrown hot oil at anyone. I would not recommend it. It is, in fact, a felony. A Wingstop worker threw hot cooking oil onto a customer, hitting one woman in the face, causing second-degree burns. Again, burns are a pain that never goes away. It leaves you open to infection. I am actually shocked that the town councilman who got burned over 70% of his body is still with us. I'm hoping he stays with us. But you are an open vector on any of those burns to get any sort of life-threatening fungus, bacteria, sepsis. It's just, burns are terrible. An employee at Wingstop in Tennessee is accused of throwing hot cooking oil onto patrons during a disagreement. Johncia Herring, 25. I think I pronounced that. Look, you threw oil at people. I'm not going to give two craps about your name. Sorry about you. Now she faces an aggravated charge of assault, according to a complaint affidavit filed on Monday, ordering her arrest. Now, the alleged attack happened several days earlier. On July 22nd, two women entered a local Wingstop located on Winchester Road in Memphis to pick up an order. Is this another Tennessee? Dear God, Tennessee. Look, Lord Chippy today brought to you exclusively by Tennessee. This has never happened. I'll try to find Indiana Stories Tennessee tomorrow. Don't worry. I'm not putting on airs. We've got a whole lot of crazy in Indiana too. Now, while they were inside the restaurant, they became embroiled in an argument with Johncia. Now, the two patrons were continuing to argue with Johncia. She went to the kitchen, grabbed a bowl, and filled it with cooking oil. Then the defendant is said to have walked back and thrown the bowl of hot oil onto the women. Now, one of the customers was hit in the face and upper torso, requiring her to be brought to the local hospital, where she's now suffering from second-degree burns to 18% of her body. Now, the police said that the oil hit the other woman on her right shoulder, burning her. Now, the more significantly injured woman later identified Johncia as the attacker. Now, she was placed in the Shelby County Jail on $7,500 bond and scheduled to be arraigned on Friday. However, as of Saturday, she was no longer listed in the jail's inmate roster, suggesting she had made bail. Now, she is expected to make her next appearance in court on August 25th. This is another thing. This wouldn't be a bailable offense in a normal world. When you attack the safety of someone else, we can't trust you. And it's for no other immutable factors than we cannot trust you to have self-control when you get angry. Point blank, end of. It's just, if you are unsafe, if you cannot control your emotions, if you're going to throw hot oil at people, you can't be free to be with the people. You must become an involuntary inside cat until you can work on your self-control. In funnier news, and there really is no segue, but I like that he's going with the flow on this, because what the hell would you do if your ex started dating Trudeau? On a lighter side, Orlando Bloom reacted to a joke that he had moved on with a world leader amid, Katy Perry's alleged rumored romance with the doofus in chief. I mean, the former Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. In The Onion, they kind of skewered him and tweeted out, just weeks after announcing his split with fiancée Katy Perry, English actor Orlando Bloom was photographed Friday dining with former German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Angela kept Orlando laughing all night. He couldn't keep his eyes off her, said an insider who spotted the pair sipping wine, slurping oyster, and splitting a decadent piece of chocolate cake. And Mr. Bloom decided to respond, clapping. So, if you can take the piss out of yourself, if you can take the mickey out of yourself, I say good. Also, come on. Oh God, what is his name as the dwarf or the elf? Look, I have forgotten all my Tolkien lore in this second right now when I need it. Oh well, we'll get Gandalf back. Gandalf the Grey. Look, this is Narnia and she's the bad witch. And he's Asland, the retarded lion. I'm just kidding. Look, I don't know enough about Canadian politics except for the man cosplayed terribly, and as a method actor, I'm kind of upset at him. Legolas. There we go. He's Guy Ladriel. Well, in the Amazon Rings of Prime. In if you ever need to Noriega my behind out of, like, say my commune has gotten great and I go all twin flamesy, um, just send in someone to do this to me and I will run out screaming. I would rather be on one of those little boats in It's a Small World with a bunch of Disney adults than do this. And y'all know my stance on Disney. It's outside, it's too hot, there are too many people, it's too expensive, and there are Disney adults. Also, there are people in costumes that want to hug you. There are so many things wrong about Disney, but this is worse. This ASMR spa doesn't do massage, but it will scratch your head, brush you with feathers, or whisper in your ear for $150. I didn't know torture was legal. This has to be against the Geneva Convention. It just has to. I can't. ASMR hurts me. No, I don't know. Just no. For a moment, I felt like a child again. My inner child's kind of a bitch. I don't think you want to meet her. Like, she still has people in middle school she wants to destroy their soul. I don't know. I think my inner child got mixed up with my inner rage. Anywho, I rested my head on a silky pillowcase and fingers gently combed through my hair while a soft voice whispered in my ear. No, all the no. I'd have to be so incredibly high to deal with this. But it wasn't my bedtime, and that's definitely not my mom. It was actually 3 p.m. on a scorching summer day in Nomad, and I was in the middle of my signature therapy section at Whisperwave, New York's first and only ASMR spa. This place is getting shut down as soon as I'm queen. No way. ASMR, or Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, is the tingly goosebump-like sensation that people get from certain audio, visual, or tactile triggers. If you spent more than 5 minutes on the internet in the last decade, you've been inundated with this absolute ridiculousness of people doing this. Yes, I have Pringles right next to me. I'm eating Pringles. And then they would put one in their mouth and do mouth noises. This must be illegal. I am outlawing this. I don't want to hear chewing noises. They make me crazy. I wear an earbud into restaurants with music on so I don't hear other people's mouth noises. This cannot be legal. I'm over here having a major flip out that people like this, but this cannot be real. Look, my kids love it. They love the, like, I don't know if it's the Japanese ones where they have all the candies and they eat them and crunch them. And it's usually a really cute girl, like, not gonna lie, super cute, no hate, no shame, but you are monetizing mouth noises and that must come to a stop. Now, you've probably seen so-called ASMR-ists whispering, tapping, scratching, or even chewing into a mic, outlawed. Trying to generate that buzzy bliss feeling that some have likened to a brain orgasm. No, just also this chick, look, she has some cray in her. Not gonna lie, I profile her as one that maybe has someone in the basement allegedly, but I'm also so freaked out about this being an actual thing that I'm predisposed to distrust her. I love that this makes me so deeply uncomfortable that I'm like, she's got bodies in her basement, allegedly in Minecraft. There is something really wrong with her. Welcome to my freak out. Now, some of the most popular ASMR clips on YouTube have racked up over 30 million views, and here I am having a show and everything. I could just clickety-clack on things. What am I thinking? At Whisperwave, founder Rebecca Benvier is taking the latest internet craze offline and straight to your nervous system. No, thank you. A lot of people think that ASMR is a technique when in fact it's a physiological response to different type of stimuli. She told the Post, people can get ASMR from literally anything. Yes, music, good music. This is not something, if you've felt deeply connected to a music, or there's just a certain chord, or, something that just deeply resonates, you get the goosebump feeling. It's not, is she a Sagittarius? Is this where we're getting this crazy? Is Mars in retrograde? While researchers are still studying the science behind ASMR, its fans swear by its calming effects. Now, studies suggest that it can ease stress and anxiety, boost your mood, improve your sleep, and even offer temporary relief from chronic pain and depression. I call bullshit. I mean, it could, but it's not for everyone. Some people feel nothing. Welcome to my life. Only when my soul's in, retrograde. But some people actually can be distressed by ASMR. Welcome. Yes, we have a club. It's called We Don't Want You In There. Now, she is a longtime ASMR enthusiast with a background in somatic therapy, healing energy, and discovering healing so, it helped her with PTSD, and I'm glad that it's helped her. As much as I joke, if this works for you, if this is something that helps with your mental health, go at it. Go for it. It's just, it is not my thing. It actively, it actively anxietifies me. But if it's your jam, as much as I've just denigrated it the entire time, go do it. Don't listen to me. I'm a redhead on the internet who wears wigs and dresses up like Sarah Boone and puts cheese slices in my bra. I really am not a life guru. I was just expressing how absolutely distressing it is for people that it distresses. But if it's your jam, if it's going to help you, go at it, do that. But there you go. Well, she finally said yes. I don't know if this woman is a hero or the biggest B word ever. A bride finally said yes to the engagement, but only after her boyfriend proposed 43 times. I just knew she was the one. Oh my God, it's like Lori and Chatadias. Although, I mean, after 3 times, I'm a drop you, ma'am. Like this guy's better than me, because after 3 times you tell me no, I'm out. I'm out. Someone else is gonna like the ring. A would-be fiancé went through a ringer to give his beloved the ring. After 7 years and 42 rejections, a woman finally accepted her boyfriend's proposal. Sarah Wintrip, 38, finally said yes to her long-term patient partner, Luke, on his 43rd attempt. Now, the couple who tied the knot on May 17th, 2025, have shocked people with their unusual love story. Sarah is 38 from Chelmsford, Essex, and she initially turned down Luke's proposal in 2018 after just 6 months of dating. They had both emerged from serious relationships, and despite being in love, Sarah wasn't ready to commit so soon, especially involving her 3 daughters. I didn't expect it, she recalled, of the first proposal, which took place during a romantic horse ride in Jamaica. I loved him, but I didn't want to say yes to something I'd later retract. I wanted to make sure with the kids that everything was going out all right. Luke said, okay, fine, but I'm going to keep asking you. Luke is a 36-year-old tattooist and was undeterred. With each no, he grew more creative, proposing in abandoned castles, hiring musicians, and staging. Y'all could have built a damn house if she'd have said yes at one point. Also, I mean, I told Mr. Mo specially with the first little guy, and he didn't get it, so every other time was just a test on the counter. Sorry to kill the Hallmark thing. I didn't do the beautiful, you're gonna be a dad thing. No, after the first one he didn't get, I gave up. So this dude's just broke the bank. Now, one of the most elaborate proposals happened in Prague, where Luke transformed a deserted castle into a fairy tale setting, complete with chocolates, champagnes, and fairy lights, but even there she rejected him. I knew it was early, but I knew she was the one, Luke said. My friends said to me, you're trying to beat her down, but it wasn't like that. I wanted to prove to her how much I wanted this, and I hope one day that the girls will look and say, well, if Luke loves Mom that much, I need to find someone that loves me that much. Okay, that's a good sentiment. But I'm also not teaching my boys to continue to give and give and give until you meet someone's standards and you're good enough to say yes to. Again, marriage is not is not a guarantee. You have to grow, you have to work with the person. That being said, I mean, they finally did it. Apparently, she got married in a black dress. I don't know why. Now, clips of his repeated proposals, including the one at a restaurant where Sarah shyly buried her head in her hands, and another on a busy street, have gone viral on TikTok. The caption 43 proposals, and now we're getting married in 2 weeks, attracted thousands of viewers. Sarah finally said yes in 2023 after telling Luke to pause the proposals and wait for the right moment, which came in Greenwich, London, where Eastern and Western hemispheres meet to form the basis of the Greenwich Mean Time Zone, with a hired busker playing her favorite songs. When he proposed, he said, "This is the center of the world, and you're the center of my world, and I want to marry you." He had finally won my heart. This is going to be a Hallmark movie, and they're going to make it stupid. But, yeah, no, I don't like this story at all. Again, I'm glad that she's putting boundaries out and protecting her children as a single mother, but it's also kind of a douchey thing to do to your partner. And honest to God, I'd be glad if Mr. Mo just remembered my birthday on the right day. To be fair, he did remember the right month. So, and he got the week right. He just got all the kids to remember my birthday wrong. They're like, "Yeah, today is your birthday." I was like, "No, it's not. I promise you." They're like, "Yes, Dad told us you were born today." So, who knows? But yeah, Mr. Mo wouldn't have proposed 43 times. Now, in our final story, but to bring hope and balance back to the Weberverse, I didn't know that this woman was still alive, but my personal hero and movie heroine that I love the best, Pippi Longstocking, is still alive. Hells yes, the world will be okay. And she still looks hot, no lies. Pippi Longstocking, actress 51, looks ageless and so beautiful at Comic-Con. Now, I'm not saying that the, Pippi Longstocking movie made me want to be, put my hair in pigtails and braids and put wires in. But I'm not saying that Pippi Longstocking wasn't my hero and I didn't want a pair of those striped leg warmers every year for Christmas for a long time. Actress Tammy Aaron, 51, is best known to movie fans as Pippi Longstocking from the 1988 film. I know. Come on. No, I don't want this. Why are you? I hate the internet. It's like they just, no, I want, what is, all right. The internet is against me. It had a picture of her. Oh, here she is. I mean, still looking hot, still rocking the red hair. I say we have Pippi Returns. It's going to be the only Hollywood remake that I approve because I'm going to be in it with Pippi Longstocking. God, I wanted that outfit so much. If you didn't want that outfit, the pirate hat and everything else, you aren't my friend. We did not have the same childhood. But Pippi was my person. Just not. She looks awesome. I am so stoked that she's still alive. I vaguely thought she was dead, but that's good. So balance is restored. You can go to Comic-Con and see Pippi Longstocking. And honest to goodness, if we had a Pippi Returns where her daughter comes in and does some shenanigans, I'd be fine with it as long as she stays a redhead. So Hollywood, you have a mission. We're willing to do this. Yeah, well, I mean, not all things are life goals. Like I say, I'm a spaz. Don't listen to me for life advice. I give you, ideas, but I don't tell you how to do them because I'm a hot mess already. Well, thank you guys for sharing your time with me. Let me check who I will send you to because unlike Baker, I am not on top of things. I endeavor to be a fully functional human all the time. If it happens, it's a miracle. That being said, in shameless self-promotion, I will be on Shizzy's channel tonight. We will be doing the first little bit on YouTube. We are going to be going to the second episode of the Amazon documentary on twin flames. Be prepared to rage. And again, you guys see, look, I know there are a lot of lost people, but crap. if you see those two on screen, Jeff and Shalea, like, y'all, I don't pretend to know nothing on the interwebs. I just tell you what I read, and I sometimes come up with funny stuff. But these two are like, we can find your twin flame with these eyes too. The crazy Manson lamps. And people were like, you know what? I need to give them money. They're going to find my chance. Now, I'm going to let you guys go. I am sending you over to Lawyer You Know. He is discussing, I just saw it, I should remember, what's going on with Massachusetts. So kind of a, covering Birchmar, Walsh, and King, and a bunch of things. Read there, of course. So send him some love. I'm going to go see if I have wire to make Pippi Longstocking hair. Vince, she didn't do anything. I just realized she was still alive and still hot. So I'm hoping that means it's a sign from the universe that everything is a little messed up, but Pippi's still hot. So like the balance in the Megaverse is still kind of there. Like it's tedious, but it's okay for now. Protect Pippi Longstocking at all cost and keep someone on Sally Jesse Raphael. And for the love of God, Angel of Death, Kevin Smith after He-Man, but we'll get to him later. Kevin Spacey is still here, and if we've got to take another person, allegedly in Minecraft, it's just a thought. Thank you for spending time with me. Have a great day. Have a wonderful Monday. Don't forget your subscriptions. So if you've got, anything that you need to cancel out of this month, make sure you do it today. Have a lovely day. But remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire. Because Lord Chippy can't do it all by himself. Allegedly in Minecraft, have a wonderful day and spread kindness in your small circle. That's the only way we're going to change the world. Bye, you guys.